Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Captain Chang Plays Cold Waters. Right now, we're in the 1984 UK campaign. Here I am at Sector Blue 044, and we're basically just north of Andoya, and we are supposed to intercept a task force that's sorting out of Murmansk. We are supposed to sink whatever they send, especially the cruise missile launchers. Unfortunately, I'm in an Oberon class. Not exactly a speedy boat, and we don't have the greatest of torpedoes, but we shall do our duty. Ready to unpause in 3, 2, 1. Stay away from me. Okay, looks like Norway is going in. We're trying to stay away from within view of that thing, because if that thing comes, yeah, if that thing gets close to me, it kind of latches on. No, that's... What the? None of those looks like a task force. Hold on. Pausing. Review orders. The Thief is ready to sail from Murmansk. It will take in the vicinity of Norway, perhaps approaching Narvik. Okay, let's go back. Something just sortied. The problem is, I don't see it. I don't see it. Sheesh. Fine, give me a different one. Landing ships may hit... okay, from where? No idea. Well, let's run for Reykjavik and whatever. Okay. This is so slow. This is an old diesel boat. It's not a nuke. Let's double check the mission one more time. Locate and sink enemy amphibious ships that's coming to attack Reykjavik and Keflavik. there it is. Okay, I see it, but which way are they coming? That is the question. South or north? I don't see any patrols, don't show it. Oh, there they are. Okay, well, let's see if we can... XO status report, all hands, battle stations. Should be the first thing you do when you get into the scenario at any time. And second, check how much water is under you. Looks like we have an infinite amount of water, practically speaking, since our max depth is only 198 meters, so we're going down that low.
Make depth 198, dive by. Con, sonar, new contact bearing.
The first thing we need to do is to ascertain what these ships are, and then quickly figure out their base course. The range with them will vary quite a bit. It's going to shake back and forth as the range prediction is going to be affected by our solution. And note that there is at least one helicopter doing the dipping sonar active. And they will drop torpedo on you if you get too close. On the other hand, we are quite a bit away from it, so it's probably not a concern. And also keep in mind, the Tigerfish is a very slow torpedo compared to the American Mark 48, so you will have to keep that in mind as you use them. The Oberon is a very slow boat as well, so you may not be able to evade very nicely. Keep all that in mind.
Right to 098, helm I.
So far we have identified 4 contacts and no base course yet, but just by looking at the movement over time, it looks like they're heading south or southwest. So just keep that in mind. We don't have an exact course, but we have a general idea. So heading 090, 098, roughly speaking. We're trying to get a little bit closer, but we are a diesel boat. It's not going to, we're not going to get too close before anything happens.
Con, helm, steady course. Come right to 129, helm I.
I decided to make a right turn to 129 because I want to intercept them and get a bit closer. And mainly because they won't be looking for me from the side, generally speaking. And if I chase them from behind, my torpedoes will run out of juice. There is another way you can sort of determine the heading. It doesn't always work, but basically, when you have detected an enemy with its tail towards you, i.e. you're in its baffles, you'll get a -50, -50 on the contact SNS COMP on this signature screen. Unless, of course, the ship does not have any sonar. Such as the... Okay, right now we're testing where should we fire a torpedo if necessary. Look at the... as you can see, the range on the Cashin is flickering back and forth, and we just got a new Sierra 5 contact. We're trying to ID it.
Con sonar, Sierra 5 is classified as capital ship.
So notice the yellow lines that frequently links from me to one of the other ships. Those are active sonar pings. They are pinging me on active, but so far they can't hear me, which is good. You'll notice that the alligator and Sverdlov have no information in contact. That is because they are not equipped with sonar. They won't be able to hear me, and they won't be able to react to me unless they get radio messages. We are shooting Tube 1 right now, mainly because we want to get the torpedo out ahead of everything. Since we have the torpedo out successfully, it did not lose its wire. I'm going to turn it a little further south in order to execute what's known as a dogleg. A dogleg is basically you're shooting off of the intended bearing. So when the torpedo has gone a distance, you turn the torpedo back toward the enemy. So when the enemy detects the incoming torpedo, it is coming from a bearing that you are not at. So if they fire a torpedo down the bearing they detected your torpedo, the enemy torpedo will not be able to acquire you. And now we have no less than 6 ships detected, 2 landers. And that means our sonar is extremely unreliable, and we have to keep searching. Only attacking surface ships, this is a good time to set all the torpedoes to shallow, and you have to use snake pattern on the tigerfish. You can tell I'm not doing that. Dumb me. We are identifying more and more ships, and we definitely now have to think about how to kill the landers, which we have identified 2 so far. And let's just say there could be more. And remember, the escorts don't count. You can kill as many escorts as you can. It will add to your kill count, but escorts are usually quite light, and their low tonnage makes them very unworthy. Just to keep in mind, in cold waters, your mission success is judged by you sinking 50% or more of your primary target. And in this case, since our primary target is this landing force, the primary target is considered to be the transports. In other words, the landing ships, or if there's any cargo ship in there, the cargo ship as well. So our primary objective is to sink those. Everything else is just gravy. Extra flavor, but not essential. So yes, that means the cash-in, the Cresta, the Silver Mini, they're all bonus items. Killing them would make your job of killing everything else easier, but remember, they're not essential.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 4, bearing 114.
Sonar condition is horrible. As you can see, the S7, the contact solution actually dropped, even though we had been tracking it for a long while. That means the water condition is quite horrible, and we are basically losing contacts as well, and then regaining them.
Aye, sir.
So this can be a problem further down the line. Which make us delay the firing the second torpedo for a long time. With the Tigerfish, you really have to think about shooting torpedoes toward the enemy, because Tigerfish is very prone to losing its wire. And if you fire toward an enemy, you would, or at least where they would be if they follow a straight line, then you at least probably would not have wasted a torpedo, but you lose the advantage of doglegging or such had you kept the wire. So now, as you can see, we're trying to fire 2 torpedoes that have them keep the wire. And so far, we are doing okay, at least so far. But remember, Oberon can only control 2 torpedoes. In other words, wire equals 2. So if we fire any more torpedoes, they're going to be going out as Mad Dogs. Mad Dog is a kind of a U.S. military term for something that is launched without guidance. It was sometimes launched in the hope of gaining guidance later, or it was just shot and hope the projectile can pick up a target on its own. It's usually used in regard to missiles, such as F-15 firing some Mad Dog AIM-120s, but it is sometimes used when it comes to torpedoes as well. And as you can see, I'm thinking about firing a 3rd torpedo just because they may be able to get into range, and then hopefully the seeker will be able to seek them out. It is the Tigerfish, when you are able to get it to hit, it's actually quite a powerful fish, quite powerful torpedo. And as you can see, we're trying to aim toward that blue dot down there, which is how the cold waters expresses the predicted impact point using the torpedo's speed as an indicator. Using the torpedo speed to calculate the possible impact points. My plan for this basically is to have torpedo 1 and torpedo 2 go in and kill hopefully the 2 alligators, or at least the alligator and the raputia. As I said, everything else is just bacon, gravy, whatever. It's just extra. And you'll notice I still haven't changed all the torpedoes to surface seeking mode yet. Technically speaking, the Tigerfish is positively horrible in this role. The first model of the Tigerfish, the Mod 0, is not even certified for attacking surface ships. No joke. Feel free to check it on Wikipedia. We now have identified 2 alligators and 1 Rafusia landers. And the only other significant target is that Sverdlov, which is a gun cruiser. Let's just say I've seen it before, so I don't need to look it up. The gun cruiser has no anti-sub capability, and it's basically only used for surface bombardment. So it basically gets close to shore, and it uses the cannon to shoot up targets near shore. Useful for supporting their amphib landings, but useless for anything else. And you'll notice I still haven't. I just fired that torpedo without setting it to surface mode, which means that torpedo will likely be wasted, but well. As I said, sometimes I forget the essential things myself. Remember to set your target to surface mode, your torpedo to surface mode if you're attacking surface targets. Simple enough, right? You'll notice the Mad Dog torpedo there is marked in green, which basically means it's not yet active. It is going out, but it will only be activated at our original intended activation point, which was all the way down at where the cursor is, roughly speaking.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 104, contact faded. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 104.
Okay, looks like okay. Now that we know the four ships are in a diamond formation, the two alligators, the Sverdlov and the Rapusha. The problem is, what formation are the three escorts doing? Because they are all over the place, as you can tell. The Silvermane, I couldn't tell which way it is. The Cresta we could, but the Cashin, he's been all over the place as well. So right now we have torpedoes 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 will still have their wires. They're heading southeast, and hopefully they'll intercept the contact when it gets close enough. Not too sure about the third one yet. Somebody will hear it, and the stir frying of the items can't be helped. So let's see. Items are still going. We're double checking the Sverdlov. Uh, there are occasionally a few ships that they are not supposed to have anti-sub sonars, but somehow they accidentally kludged one in, and the USS Iowa actually fits that definition. Even though it has no sonar, it hey, we are still investigating. Not much place to speed up. Looks like it's time to dogleg the torpedoes 1 and 2. We originally, remember, we fired it at an offset, further to the south than it was meant to be. So now if we turn it, you'll see that even if the enemy managed to reconstruct the incoming torpedo cores, they would have no idea where I am actually am, because I am turning northeast myself.
at bearing 108. Designated Sierra 8.
Here comes a Sierra 8, and Sierra 8 is going to be a freighter. I can tell already, which means it is another priority target. Even though how the heck did it end up there rather than inside the diamond with everyone else, I have no idea. Right now I'm thinking about retargeting torpedoes 1 and 2 to one of the warships, but as I explained earlier, that is not a smart move because the warships often have far less tonnage, and when you need both prestige level and extra stuff, the extra touch of realism is very much appreciated. So I mentioned before, Tigerfish is probably the worst torpedo fielded during the 70s and the 80s.
Con sonar Sierra 8 is classified.
The only
as
way you'll be
urgent.
sure to get a hit is to hit your target from the battles area, basically directly above or you know.
Come right to 094. Helm I. Con, helm, steady course.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra, Boar, last bearing 1, Boar, 9, contact faded.
As you can see, we have 2 torpedoes inbound. One, the plan obviously is one for Rapusha and one for Alligator. In hindsight, I should have really aimed torpedo 2 to S7 rather than S2 because there's bigger separation between the two. If the range estimate for S2 is screwed up, it would have. If I try to hit S7 in the range, there's really no other target near S7 that could be confused for it. And they are of different bearings, so there's no way we can get confused as to which is which. But as you can see, when I tried to hit Rapusha, it ended up hitting the Alligator, and then Torpedo 2 ended up hitting nothing.
Bearing 1, 5, 1.
You
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 1, 2, Boar, contact faded. Con sonar regained contact on. Sierra 1, bearing 1, 2, Boar. Con sonar Sierra 8 is classified as merchant. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 4. Last bearing 160. Contact faded.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
As you can see, basically, Torpedo 1 was able to acquire something, and Torpedo 2 is chasing something down. Except
Con sonar lost contact.
2
Sierra 2. Last bearing
says
1,
it just
5,
destroyed an
1.
alligator.
Breaking up. Con
So
sonar
what is
lost
1
contact.
going after?
Sierra 4.
I
Last
have
bearing
no idea.
160. Contact
1
faded.
hit something. And unless I heat and turn on the... Okay, I know what happened. S1, the Torpedo 1 hit the Svetlov, which is why it's only going at 5 knots. The Svetlov is basically stuck at 5 knots from here. It can't go any faster, which is why I was able to catch it later. Svetlov suffered heavy stern damage from here. So, really should have... So basically aim for the Rapusha, didn't work. We ended up destroying one ship, one major target, and then damaging another, where I should have gotten 2 sunk. Okay, yeah, that's We fired 2 torpedoes for no appreciable effect except sinking 1 alligator. I think the other torpedo hit the Svetlov, which is why it's only going 5 knots now. We can sink it later, but now we need to see which way all the other ships are turning, just to see if we can catch it.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Looks like the escorts are just running away. They aren't doing anything seriously.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire. Con, fire control, we've lost the wire. Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Loading the torpedoes now, just in case we are going to send a couple more Mad Dogs out to the ships. And right now we have 3 primary targets: the Partisan, the Alligator, and the Rapusha. The escorts are basically making a run for it, and I can't catch them. All the escorts are going at maximum speed. Everything else we should be able to catch.
Con, torpedo room, tube 5 ready.
On the other hand, we are going... Our maximum velocity is 17 knots, so... And these ships are capable of 16, so it will be an extremely long,
Ship for
long,
ultra-quiet.
long chase. As you can see, the ships are starting to scatter. The Cashin is basically running the heck east, and all three ships, the Partisan, the Alligator, and the Rapusha, are are slightly divergent headings. The Sverdlov, ignore that range. He's actually down here near the Alligator, which is why he got hit. Cresta is basically going to run that way. He's just gonna disappear. I have no idea where the Sovereign went, but he's way out to the south and he's not turning back. So basically, if I can catch... So basically, I need to kill one of these three. And if I can kill the Sverdlov, even better, but I need to kill one of these. I need to kill S8, S7, or S6. Any one of those will do. Remember, the campaigns gives you missions, and the headquarters expect you to kill half of the primary targets. If you can kill half of the primary targets, then you're judged to have been successful with that mission. If you didn't, it will be a fail. None of the escorts count. Remember that. Once the enemy has started scattering, their heading should be relatively fixed. Therefore, if you have long-range torpedoes, it is now a decent time to try shooting a couple of them. At this time, I was actually thinking about shooting Cresta with the torpedoes 3 and 4, but it's probably better to shoot at the Rapusha, the Alligator, and the Partisan instead. I am launching a couple more torpedoes just in case we can catch some of the escorts, but it doesn't seem very likely. The Tigerfish is not the best of torpedo under any circumstances. Asking them to seek something at the edge of their endurance is probably beyond them. But we got plenty of torpedoes, so we're going to give them a try. As you can see, I fired no less than 6 different torpedoes, and let's just say, bad decision. None of those hit. EOC. And I'll be speeding up the footage in a little bit, and you'll see exactly what I mean. The thing to note here is if you look at the torpedo data computer, the last line, TTR, that means the torpedo only has 1 minute of life left. It's not going to hit the target before then. That means this torpedo is wasted. See, it just disappeared on me. And that basically means I cannot hit these ships because if I fire now, I'm going to be exceeding my torpedo's range. And since these ships are going 16 knots and my maximum speed underwater is 17, it will take me forever to catch up to one of them. Not a joke. If I ever catch up to one, and that's assuming none of these escorts catch me. The only thing I can kill right now is the Sverdlov. And you've noticed that the Cresta during that sped up period, it was all over the place. It turned left, it turned right, it zigzagged. It basically saw the torpedo coming and dodged out of the way.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
So let's kill the Sverdlov. We're aiming toward the blue dot, which is with its predicted course and torpedo impact point. If we fire right now and using the speed of the torpedo, and predicting the travel time and how far the ship would move during that time, and that should do it. Technically, one torpedo should be enough, although that's I fired two just for insurance.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con, sonar, lost contact. Sierra, 5. Last bearing, 163. Contact breaking up.
And the Sverdlov goes down. Now, we are going to make a dash toward the east. We're not going to be able to catch the Cashin because he's going way faster than we could. But we may be able to catch one of these three ships. And if we just sink one of them, this mission would have been a success. If we sink none of them and just give up right now, this mission would have been a failure. So we are going to give it a try. Oh, by the way, this section where everything is moving, it's moving at 20 times the recording rate, and the game itself has also been on accelerated time. So, as you can see, this took a very long time, and it's still going. Let's just say the opportunity to score a successful mission with an Oberon is so thin, I have to find a way to finish this mission on a success, or else I will be losing points instead of gaining points, and this really sucks. And right now I can't find anything, but they are out there. They're really out there. We're still looking.
Up scope.
Another reason we're doing this is we are chasing it into a coast, and hopefully the ships are just getting stuck on the coast and we're just having some trouble finding them. On the other hand, let's just say cold waters has been known to glitch, and the ships are sometimes known to pass through actual land, and that makes it kind of funny, but not good for us. Which is why we're trying to search 090, or basically 190 to 120 degree arc, trying to find any contact. Oh, there's one. We found the partisan. Looks like we found one of those ships. I guess it's time to kill it. But let's just scan around to make sure there's nobody else here. And you'll notice there's a yellow line roughly bearing 085. Yep, there was again. That is actually a sonar ping from somebody, except as you can see, it's not in the radar range. So somehow that Cashin that went east has somehow passed through solid land. I know, this game does have its quirks, especially when you push it to its limits like this. Yeah, somehow the Cashin and the other ships has phased through solid land. But the Partisan somehow did not. Anyway, let's fire off that torpedo and let's kill that thing.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con, sonar lost contact. Master 8, last bearing 020. Contact breaking up. Come right to 183, helm aye.
Okay, we have technically achieved our objective, and we technically can leave now, but I was thinking, is there something to the south that we can find? So I am heading south. On the other hand, we are in extremely shallow waters. As you can see, it's only 58 meters deep, so we cannot go very fast. Unless we want to basically thrash water about and attract attention. On the other hand, technically this is Icelandic coast with friendly territory. And as you can see, there's no way the ship would have flipped over like that. Not in this shallow of water. Well, sometimes the game is a little silly. On the other hand, as you can see, I have periscope and radar raised, and I couldn't find anything. Okay, folks, I don't think there's any point in searching further to the south. We may or may not be able to locate the other two ships, but that is going to take another hour of searching because we are only going to be able to go about 5 knots. Therefore, we are abandoning the the chase here. Well, we let it go on a little bit more, but we tried turning in a little bit, but with radar on, we don't see anything, we don't hear anything, and that's the final. Sobermani escaped, Cashin escaped, Cresta escaped, Alligator escaped, Rapusha escaped, but we sank 24,000 tons. We sank the Alligator, Partisan, and the Sverdlov, and the HQ is very happy. And we shall continue. The assault on Reykjavik has been defeated. We are returning to Fastlane. We've been recalled. And because we're down to about 7 torpedoes. So we're heading straight back to Fastlane, and this thing only goes 17 knots. Period. So let's go back to Fastlane, reload our torpedoes, and we will be ending this recording. I know it's been extra long, extra boring, but at least we have accomplished our mission. In the previous episode, we sank 3 out of 2 submarines, and today we have accomplished another mission. We actually failed another one earlier, but that's a different problem. I mean, they told us to look for a missile, and we went to that sector, we didn't see anything. So it's not our fault. Next stop, we are going back to the Norwegian coast. We need to hunt some diesel subs. Let's reload all our torpedoes. And that will be it for today. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more content like this, as well as watch me play some other games. Obviously, I play a lot more than just Cold Waters. Recent games I've played include Ace Combat 7, bunch of indie games, Starfleet Command, and so on and so forth. Anyway, again, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.